I'll let you know when it's going. Are you all excited? Yay. So our Go STEM program is delivered with a set of principles, and our vision is to ensure that young women like you have access to tools that you need to empower yourself through education and career in STEM. This program offers interactive sessions, and this year, introduction to numerous STEM industry speakers that will enable you to realize what it is like to work in a STEM career and the journey it takes to achieve your career goals. It is our aim that you walk away with valuable new STEM skills and new insights in your future career in STEM, should you choose to go in these fields. We're very excited to be spending some time with you this week, and our mission for the week is to explore with you, to inspire you, and to give you the tools to empower yourself. Here's the schedule for the week. And we're very excited to do things differently this year and bring you more women in STEM to help you understand various careers in the STEM fields. For the most part, careers that are exciting and unfortunately not most talked about. You will get to meet women from cybersecurity, mining, planetary science, technology, engineering, math, and IT. This will help you learn that you can be anything you want. These women are here to share with you their journey and hopes to inspire you towards your own career of your dreams. Before we start our journey this week, let me introduce to you our organization, what we do, who is involved, and share some of the things we're proud of. So here are some fun facts about Revolution to get you excited about. Revolution was founded by me in 2013. And the reason why I started this organization is because I came with my own lived experiences as a newcomer to Canada while I was still considered youth at that time, not anymore, but at that time I was. I was low income for a long time. I depended on social assistance. I experienced homelessness a couple of times while navigating my way around the system. Then I experienced domestic violence. And now I'm a single mother of 2 daughters. My education background is social work. So I have been at both ends of the table when it comes to serving people with facing barriers while facing my own. I learned about the lack of women in STEM back then and thought about my own missed opportunities, as well as thousands of people that I have worked with who would have benefited from a career in STEM. However, these opportunities were never presented to me or any other service providers that I knew of. I decided to do some research, and it made perfect sense that Revolution needed to exist. Because of that, since our incorporation in 2013, we impacted over 4,000 youth through various programs such as Go STEM, the one that you're in, and then STEM in our program, a computer science program that prepares young women for post-secondary education in computer science and technology. We've also had 2 sold-out conferences and various other outreach events that we're very proud of. Our impact so far has resulted in students achieving employment in STEM fields, such as working at BMO, RBC, Shopify, Mount Sinai Hospital. They were getting accepted in prestigious universities such as University of Toronto, Ryerson, York, Carleton University, and across the border, Chicago Institute of Technology, to name a few of the winning, to name a few. But also, they have won Aspiring Computing Awards for their work, not to mention some students being involved in competitions to help develop apps to help underserved communities across the world, in addition to exploring entrepreneurship opportunities. This could be you someday, and we're honored to be part of that journey with you. We lead our organization with our 5 core values in mind: integrity, respect, accountability, reach, and equity. These values are modeled starting with the leadership team to help us create an environment for young women like you that is welcoming and safe. Additionally, these values are applied when working with corporate partners to help make them part of the solution with us. Here's how it all unfolded for us thus far. We find that in order to break barriers, we need to develop solutions for young women from all backgrounds, particularly girls who don't generally have these opportunities in high school, to help them discover and embrace STEM careers. The Ambassador Program is a vehicle for young women to raise awareness and funds for our programs to help improve gender equity in STEM. Why do we do this? We do it. Why do we do it? We do it to engage the community in supporting her Revolution's mandate to inspire girls to embrace STEM careers, to create new opportunities for program participants, alumni, and STEM companies to get involved with her Revolution, to build a network in STEM fields for ambassadors, to raise funds for key Her Revolution programs, and create new strategic community partnership through collaboration. Some of the benefits for the ambassadors are opportunity to build leadership skills, opportunity to learn new things and meet new people, opportunity to make your voice heard, and change the ratio for women in STEM. Okay, let's talk about the Go STEM program. So the program, this one that you're in, was developed to help young women like all of you here to explore careers in STEM in a more fun and engaging way. This is the 7th year that we're running this program, and we're happy to be able to work with our ambassadors to bring you speakers from all areas of STEM that will share with you insights and their journey from where they started to where they are today. We hope that this will inspire you to explore careers in STEM and see these opportunities for you as opportunities for your future. We're very excited to run this program because we understand that some of you never really get the opportunity to be part of such a unique opportunity. Typically, we have this program run inside a company where you will get to have a tour, meet numerous staff members from that particular company, and get to understand and hopefully be inspired to pursue a career in that field. This year, just like we did last year, we will run the program online, but we wanted to continue to provide you with a unique experience. So stay tuned, because this week we'll be part of some exciting workshops, meet some amazing women in STEM, and connect with each other in a meaningful way. So let me share with you some of the success stories that we have from our past programs. We work with companies like Salesforce and GM Canada to bring you closer to innovative ideas and technology. We introduce you to numerous women from these companies that acted as role models and hopefully inspired you to consider these careers. This year, we will include all STEM disciplines, and we'll bring you women from companies such as Capgemini, Alexio, Soup Strategy, Indospace, the Math Guru, and even women from out of province from companies such as Procurify and University of Alberta. Canada is a big country, so we have to welcome everyone. When it comes to our students that have participated in the program in the past few years, some of them have moved on to university, taking computer science at U of T, Carleton, York, Chicago Institute of Technology, like I mentioned earlier. And other students are currently working in hospitals and startups, making the world a better place. We're also very excited to see that some participants are part of the youth committee at Her Revolution, where they help other girls like you get inspired by STEM. There are numerous benefits of being in this program, and some of them are you get to meet STEM industry professionals, you get to build your network of peers, you get priority in our STEM in our program, a program that prepares young women like you for post-secondary education and a career in computer science and related fields. We have a couple of our ambassadors. I'm very excited about this, and some of our Revolution team who will be assisting you throughout the week. I know that for some of you, this might be the first step to getting involved with Revolution, and it only gets better from here. We will be creating your Slack groups today, so please check it throughout the week and after that, because we add a lot of resources there, and you will see numerous opportunities moving forward to help you enter a post-secondary and career in STEM. So with that said, welcome to the Go STEM program and to Revolution. So let's get started. We will start today with a panel discussion. And we are here today with Kashi and Jada, who have joined us for an informal discussion about their journey to Revolution and beyond. I'm going to ask for you to please feel free to ask questions on chat box, and we will be answering them either during the session. If not, we'll continue with that conversation on Slack afterwards. So Kershi and Jada, let's start this by you guys introducing yourself. And who wants to start?
I can start.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name's Kushi, and I'm currently a committee member, as I mentioned before, in Revolution. I'm currently going into my first year at University of Waterloo, and right now I'm studying business, actually, although I'm kind of still deciding really what I want to do. Some hobbies, I guess, of mine are I really like to read. I binge a lot of Netflix shows, and I like hanging out with friends, eating at new restaurants, trying new foods. So yeah, that's just a little about me. Jada?
Thank you, Kershi.
Hello. So I'm Jada. I am currently I'm going into second year for computer science at York. I was in Revolution Stemming Up program in 2019, and then last year I was also an ambassador with Kushi. Currently, I am also a member of the Stemming Up committee, and I am working as the program coordinator for Stemming Up.
Thank you, Jada and Kershi. All right, so let's start with some awesome questions. Kershi, you have been in our programs in the past, like you mentioned. You were a participant in our Stemming Up program. So what made you decide to get involved in our programs before you started the program and then continue with being involved with Revolution?
So I first heard about the program from like a friend of my mom's, and she's like, oh, there's this cool program. Maybe you want to do it. And this was when the summer right after I started high school. And at this point, I kind of didn't have much to do in the summer. So I was like, oh, let me check it out. Let me see if I like it. And I remember when I first read about it, I thought it was really interesting. And I had actually been really wanting to try learning how to code, which is something that was in the program. And also they had a bunch of guest speakers and like networking. And I think I was a little more shy back then as well. So I was like, oh, if I do this, maybe it'll help me gain some confidence. I can learn to code. I can learn new things. So I guess that's what really made me decide to do it. I kind of was like, let me just go for it, So that's what helped me first get into it. And since then, I guess I'm still helping out because I had fun. I liked the program. I liked the people I met. So I thought, why not continue helping, continue doing stuff, and just kind of expand my horizons, I guess, and try different new things and like see what I'm capable of.
Thank you, Kershi. Just to mention, Kershi was one of our youngest participants in the Stemming Up program. Thank you, Kershi. Jada, so you're also in our programs in the past, and just like Kershi, you started as a participant in the Stemming Up program. What was that experience like for you, and what made you want to join Revolution as an ambassador last year?
Yeah, so I heard about Stemming Up through another program, I think. But then basically I wanted to continue learning more in STEM. I did have an interest in computer science beforehand. So I had I knew how to code already, but I was able to learn Python, which was a new language for me, and it definitely helped me develop my skills in being able to, I guess, pick up new technologies and coding languages faster. And I also learned a lot from the guest speakers that came, and the people in the program, so other students like Kushi, I was able to make friends, and we definitely kept in touch. And it's all sort of, girls in STEM support each other. And then basically how I became ambassador was I had a lot of friends like from school who were also interested in STEM programs and having a similar experience. So I just kept recommending Revolution programs to them. And then I heard about the ambassador program, so I decided to get more involved in like an official capacity. And then I just want to continue like helping to deliver the same opportunities that I got. So I just stayed at Revolution.
Thank you, Jada. Yes. So, because she just went out, she's coming back. Jada, let's continue with you. What was your experience like in the program as a student? And what is it like behind the scenes when you get to plan Revolution, like the GoSTEM program? Because last year you did plan the GoSTEM program. This year you're behind the scenes with the seminar program. So what does that experience like to be in as a participant and behind the scenes?
Yeah, so definitely while I was in the program, like I was sort of like, wow, there's so many people who are coming to volunteer, like so many speakers from the industry. Like I heard of things that I learned about things that I hadn't even heard of. Um, and it definitely gave me a lot of exposure to new topics that I hadn't been able to learn about in school, and gave me an interest in learning more about it on my own. And then being on the other side of things, getting to help deliver the programs, I definitely see like how much goes into each program.
Yeah.
But it also definitely makes me appreciate the work the students do as well, because I can see like the effort they have to put in to complete each project, or for depending on the program, how much they're able to learn. And it's great to have an opportunity to speak with everyone like in her VOLUTION's network, and all the industry partners and professionals.
Thank you, Jada. Kashi, I'm going to ask you, like, what was your experience like in the program as a student, as a participant, and how is it different for you to be behind the scenes and plan GoSTEM program, be part of the ambassador program? So, what is the difference? What is it like for you?
So, as Jada said, it's obviously more work behind the scenes, more
Yes.
responsibility, But I think it's been really exciting to see what goes on and how you actually create a program like this, since I really never knew about all the extra stuff we have to do behind the scenes to make it happen. So it's really cool to kind of see both sides of it as a
Mhm.
participant and then later as a host. And I guess while I was a student in the program, it was really exciting for me to be able to learn new things, as I said. And there was a lot of different like speakers, a lot of like things that I hadn't even heard of in the Stemming Up program, that like such as like UX design and so many different things that that I still know today. And at the time I didn't even know those were a thing. So it was really exciting for me to have these new experiences and learn these new things. And now I think it's really cool that I get to deliver it and show new things to other people.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. I would like to ask both of you if you can share if you did you have any role models before you started high school?
I can go first.
Yeah.
So I guess I didn't really have many role models like career wise. If
Mm-hmm.
anything, I guess I would say my mom would have been my role model, which, you know, because she was in business, which is what I'm going in right now. And I also know that she was part of like some gender equity things at her work. And I thought that was really cool. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess my mom would be the closest thing I had to a role model. And once I came in the program, I met so many other women that were in STEM and in business. And it was cool to see that there's a lot of people out there also doing
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Right. Jada, how about you?
I think before high school, I didn't have too much exposure to like, professionals. So I definitely emulated a lot of fictional characters. But one I can think of is Korra from Legend of Korra, the Avatar. But that was basically like she's a strong female character. And that was something that I definitely aspired to. And then getting to be in the program like Cushy, I was able to meet a lot more, real people
Mm-hmm.
who have these characteristics. And that's definitely something that I had a lot of people then to look up to. And I was able to, get mentors to learn from and see their experiences and how I can apply them to my own life.
Yeah, thank you for that. All right. Kushi, how did you know that you wanted to go into it? Because I know earlier you were talking about how you want to go into accounting. Now you're talking about business. But how did you know you wanted to get into that? Was there anything that sparked for you other than your mom?
So I guess even at this point, I don't really know for sure. I'm kind of just doing like what I like. So um, I guess part of being in the Stemming Up program actually did help me decide this. since we did have a lot of stuff related to entrepreneurship and a lot of business professionals talking and like about things like UX design, which I mentioned before, and marketing. And so at first, I guess I kind of really didn't know what I wanted to do, which is one of the reasons I started the Stemming Up program, to see like what interested me. And I got to see that there's kind of a lot of things in business that I hadn't even thought about before. So I guess currently I'm focused on accounting, but that could change. And I think that's good because I don't want to kind of limit myself. I'm still trying to figure out where I want to go. And I thought I liked my classes in business in school, I guess, which is what kind of sparked my interest. And then going in the program, I learned about all this different stuff you could do in business. And I really like just having that kind of options and opportunity to go wherever I want. So I guess that's why.
Thank you, Kershi. Jada, I wanted to ask, so this year you are the coordinator for the Stemming Up program. I know, please don't be confused. Like, I know we're in a Go STEM program, but we're talking about, our bigger program because it's like, it's so many things that are happening at Revolution with these two programs, and the speakers that you see today are involved in all of them. So I wanted to share some of that experience, like to bring to you some of that experience that they are getting from everywhere within Revolution. So you, Jada, as a coordinator for the Stemming Up program, how do you feel that that is benefiting you in terms of preparing you for a career in STEM?
So as the coordinator, I'm definitely able to meet a lot of people in tech and in STEM because we have coaches involved in the program who are all professionals within the industry, either in tech or business. And then getting to hear their experiences, and as well as from the guest speakers, what they do in their jobs, gives me a better idea of what a day might look like if I worked in a similar career, since it is the same industry. I'm also able to practice a lot of soft skills, like communicating in a professional setting with all the guest speakers, the coaches, and also definitely time management and coordinating all the different parts of the program. Besides that, I'm also able to connect like with the other volunteers, with the students. So I'm able to sort of build my network and connect with people at a more advanced, at the same point or a similar point, and also the potential of the students who are up and coming in their academic and professional careers.
Thank you, Jada. I'm going to ask now both of you, Kershi and Jada, if you can answer this. Would you please be sharing some tips for with our audience today when it comes to exploring opportunities in STEM at an early age? What should they do? How do they start?
I think my main tip would really be to just try everything, just go for it, give everything a chance, because you really never know what's out there and what you would like, what you would love. So I think when you're starting off in STEM, don't kind of make assumptions about certain things or think, oh, I wouldn't like that. And just give everything a chance, give it a shot, try it out. Especially starting when you're younger, you have so much time to decide what you want to be. Even by the time you're in high school, you don't really need to decide yet. You have so much time. So I think just try everything you can.
Jada, what say you?
Yeah, I think similar to what Kushi said, like just say yes to things. Like don't write things off as like I wouldn't be good at that, or like that would be too hard. Like I know when I first started coding, I was like, this looks really difficult and I'm gonna suck at it. But it turned out to be a lot of fun, and now here I am.
Right. And last year you actually delivered the whole Go STEM program.
Yes.
And not only did you deliver it, but you taught professionals in the field how to teach coding, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think like just don't be afraid to fail. Like if you make a fool of yourself, like everyone's made a fool of themselves. So
yeah,
like no one's like judging you. And if they are, then that's the problem with them. Not you. And like ask questions. People want to help. People want to support you. Like I know from everyone I've talked to who's like a professional in the industry, like they are excited to get people into what they do. They like what they do, so they want to help you and explain what they do. And like Kushi said, high school is not the end of the world. Like even if you don't really know what you want to do, you have time to figure it out. Like I switched programs too, so it's not you're not set in one pathway. You can change, you can try things out, you can change what you like, what you want to do. So yeah, just
that's
try
so
things.
true. Thank you, both of you. Okay, so I know you're both students. One is in high school and the other university. So, question for you both. What do you enjoy most about school, and how do you feel that that is preparing you for a future career in STEM? It's kind of like two
So,
questions in one.
so as I mentioned, I'm just starting university, so I did just finish high school. And I think what I liked the most was that I really had the opportunity to kind of meet a lot of people. And I guess high school kind of forces you to do that compared to like elementary school, because you're really like put in a bunch of classes with a bunch of new people. And I think that's really useful, figuring out how to talk to new people, like make friends in all your classes. And I personally really like that because, as I said, I was shy before. So it kind of pushed me to have to talk to new people. And also, there's a lot of skills that we learn in high school that are important, like presenting and communicating, and a lot of these other skills that you'll really be using for your whole life. So I think that's what one of the things that I really enjoyed and that helped prepare me. And also just giving me different opportunities to kind of really forcing me to think about what I wanted to do in the future, I guess. Because before then, I really didn't consider it much. I was like, oh, I'll just see what I want to do, I'll go for it then. But I think it's good to at least start thinking about it and to start realizing that there's a lot you can do and you can start preparing for that whenever.
Very true, Kushi. Thank you. Jada, how about you?
Yeah. So currently I am in computer science program.
Yeah.
So definitely that's a straight track to that field. So I'd say like face value, that's definitely preparing me for a career in
Right.
STEM just because of the
Right.
content. But what do I enjoy about school? I think definitely I enjoy like learning in general. So one thing with university that's different from high school is it's a lot more self-study. Like there's no teacher teaching you everything, saying this is what's going to be on the test. This is the content you need to know. It's a lot more general. And professors definitely do add their personality into their lectures and their own experiences. It's not like as closely set a curriculum as high school. So being able to see different perspectives, being able to learn content that's different depending on who's teaching it, and getting those skills of being able to interpret and filter and figure out what's important for me to know, what I need to remember, what I can actually apply to my eventual career is very good.
That's good. Thank you. So I have one last question. This is one of my favorite because I'm selfish this way, but I wanted to know, both of you, if you can answer this, why is the work that Revolution does important to you?
So the work we do at Revolution is important to me because I feel like I'm making a difference. I feel like I'm helping people. And that's really why I started helping Revolution, because I liked seeing how it did open up like a lot of girls' eyes to all these different opportunities in like the programs I've done even. And I thought that was cool, showing people that there's so much more out there and kind of encouraging them, having someone to kind of show you that you can do it and to give you advice whenever you need it. So I think that's one of the reasons that I think Revolution is really important. And it even showed me a lot of different opportunities out there. So I don't know if I would have, gone into the same career if I didn't join Revolution. It really helped shape my life. So I thought I'll join and I'll do that for other people too.
Thank you, Kushi. How about you, Jada? I'm going to actually, before you answer this, I'm going to say, so Jada was a student in the seminar program. Then she wanted to volunteer to become the ambassador. And then she said, my schedule is so full. I don't know if I can do this. I said, no problem, Jada. You're amazing. Thank you so much. And then she comes back. I want to be in the STEM Up committee right now. So I'm like, I thought you said you're busy. Like, I don't want to leave Revolution. So tell us more about that, Jada. I guess it is important to you, the work that we do. So I want to know why.
Yeah, I think like, I mean, I got to see firsthand like the impact of the work that Revolution does because I was a student in the program. And then being able to get those opportunities, being able to get exposure to all of this like knowledge that I wouldn't have been able to get otherwise, definitely made me want to give back. And I try to get involved with like everything that I do. So it was kind of like a logical next step to me, that I want to get involved. But then I think like the gender disparity in STEM and in tech, is still very, very apparent. There are definitely steps being made like in companies, in society to improve it, but it's still, there's a lot of like, there is the general rhetoric that like girls are not meant to do STEM, or not meant to do like science, or not meant to do tech. So I think being involved in something like this and being able to help, combat that message and help deliver programs like this that will actually inspire people and have that impact is something that's like really important to me.
Thank you, guys. Don't make me cry, but thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this. Now that we are done with our team, the panel, we are going to start our panel discussion with VOLUTION Ambassadors. So we're very excited to introduce them to you. So we have Isabella, we have Noveral, and then we have Ananka. Ananka, I know that she said her camera is not working, but Ananka, can you say hello?
Hi.
Okay, hello. Great. So thank you all for being here. Let's start this panel discussion. I hope that everyone is enjoying our session so far. So why don't we start by all of you introducing yourself. So let's start with Isabella.
Thanks, Donya. Hi, I'm Isabella. My pronouns are she and her. I am a high school science teacher, actually. So I think I come to Revolution with a different skill set because I'm sort of like on the opposite end, but I'm just getting started with my journey into programming because it's so relevant, right? Like we're talking about like the 21st century learner and the 21st century leader. And so, yeah, and so I'm really happy and I'm honored to be a part of this ambassador program.
Thank you, Isabella. Noveral.
Hi, everyone. My name's Noveral. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going into my first year of university at the University of Toronto for engineering. So that's exciting. Yeah.
Thank you, Noveral. And Ananka.
Hi, my name's Ananka. I'm going into my last year of high school, so I'll be in grade 12 next year. I just want to say that I'm really happy here to talk with you guys, and yeah.
Thank you, Ananka. Ananka is actually a former GoSTEM participant a couple of years ago. So we're very happy to have former participants come back and, like we had earlier with Jada and Pershi. So thank you for being here. Okay, let's start with our questions. So very simple. Why did you choose to join Revolution? And let's start this time with Noveral.
All right. Okay. I decided to join Revolution because, the fact that a lot of women, first of all, as someone in STEM, I really wanted to find a way to advocate for STEM, especially for women in STEM, since around my time in high school, especially at a young age, I really didn't know what to do. And STEM disciplines were always reserved for males or for people that seemed like they knew what they were doing. And it didn't feel that way, especially in high school. So, looking for STEM careers and everything is hard. So I find that a lot of people in high school and going forward, they don't really know what they want to do. So I want to help others explore those experiences, because not everyone has the same experiences going forward with finding their careers and knowing what they want to do. I know for sure that I still have many friends in university that still don't know what they really want to do. And even people that have switched to STEM careers, they were like, oh, I didn't know about this in high school. So, as someone who is entering a STEM career, I want to help advocate for that. And Hervolution does it the best.
Oh, thank you, Novera. Thank you. Okay, Ananta, why did you choose to join Hervolution?
Well, I chose to join Revolution through my first experience with it. I was really fortunate enough to go one of the Go STEM programs with Salesforce, where I was able to learn about the company and ask questions, and like best of all, learn how to code. And we were able to make our own website. And like the reason why I definitely chose to come to Revolution was to help out, give opportunities to young girls like they have given to me.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you. Isabella.
Yeah, they've all actually touched upon a couple of my points, but what Noveral was mentioning about representation and also wanting to clarify that route into STEM, I've obviously had to, I think as a racialized person, when you are navigating STEM field, which is still predominantly filled with people who don't necessarily look like me, it's really difficult, and it sort of reinforces that imposter syndrome. And so I was able to sort of find that supportive network to support my journey in STEM. And so I really wanted to sort of pay it forward with my role now, and also to just sort of help people navigate that. It's not like there is like an exclusive club out there. It's just knowing the right questions to ask, and then making those connections. And Hervolution, with all the various programs, really essentially teaches you all these transferable skills that would be applicable in the future and in any context that you choose to apply yourself to. So that's why I decided to join.
Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this warms my heart. Thank you. All right. So what skills do you think are important for someone interested in a career in STEM? Okay, let's see who's going to answer first. Let's start with Ananka.
Sure. I feel like a skill that's important to have if you're interested in STEM is definitely having communication skills. Like for me, I would have to say I might struggle with this because I would have to consider myself an introvert. So socializing could be a little bit nerve-wracking and scary for me. But I think developing those skills can really help you like meet new people, developing relationships in the certain STEM field that you want to go into. And with that, you're able to communicate your ideas with new people. So I think a skill that is important is definitely communication. So yeah.
Thank you. Isabella, what do you think?
For me, it's definitely be your best fan, like always stand in your corner, because there are just so many things that are out there systemically or even just socially that you will feel like it's acting against you. And so like what that means is that, if you are worried about you're not qualified for this position, but you know that you have a skill set that is applicable to this job, apply. Because I think there's that quote where like you lose 100% of the opportunities that you don't apply for. So why do you sell yourself short? And what is great about Hervolution is that you can actually create a bunch of frameworks that would help support that, like creating a website, having a professional LinkedIn profile. All of those are things that you can sort of fall back on, even if you don't feel like sort of broadcasting yourself. When people look you up, there are those things that are speaking values on your behalf. So that's really important. And that has really been helpful for me in terms of establishing my career as a teacher as well. So just be your best friend, be your best fan as well, and go for it.
And don't forget that you have us now to be your fans as well. So this is what we do best. Novera, what do you think?
I think Ananka and Isabella really touched on it well, kind of what I wanted to say as well. For me, I'd say one of the most important skills in STEM, especially, is having the confidence, like mentioned. The imposter syndrome is going to hit you when going into STEM because you're not going to see people like you, or you're going to be the only one in the room like you. And so it's important to walk in knowing that you know your skills, you know what you know is best for yourself. And so just walk in there and, as Isabella said, be your best self. You're going to be wrong. It's inevitable. And everybody's wrong one point or another in their life. So, own up to it and like learn from it. And yeah, that's the only way you'll move forward in STEM, especially.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to echo that. Confidence is one of the most important skills because I, running Revolution for 8 years, I see so many people in the industry that have all the skills in terms of STEM skills, but they don't have the confidence to apply for the job or to conduct themselves in the interview. So because of that, they might be best suited because they have all the skills required for the job, but they don't have the confidence to speak for themselves or to sell themselves in an interview or to even apply for that position. It's just, it's a huge default by why so many people don't get into STEM. So thank you all for this. So, all right. So speaking of confidence, what personal skills are essentials to success in STEM fields? Let's go with something else other than confidence. Okay, let's go with Isabella.
I think being empathy, like understanding where everybody's coming from, is really important in the STEM field. I think when people think about STEM, they think about it being like a relatively objective field, but actually everybody's coming into the field bringing slightly different prior knowledge and preconceived notion as well. And so something that I've learned this year is to really look introspectively and understand my explicit and implicit biases when I converse with other people. And with that, I'm also able to understand where everybody is coming from. Because I think it's through empathy that we are able to have conversations rather than having like a yes/no kind of conversation. That's not really constructive when everything is very black and white, because we all know that, what we believe is to be true until it's proven otherwise, especially in science. So I think it's really important to just sort of listen and then like be empathetic of where everybody's coming from.
Thank you, Isabella. Ananka, what do you think?
I agree with Isabel, and having empathy in the workplace is definitely something I see success in. Going with that, I feel as if balance as a skill as well is also important if you want to see success in the STEM field. Having balance with your personal life and your work life, having activities supporting a healthy lifestyle out of work, and even pursuing projects outside of work, and just maintaining both environments is good to have, like, for your mental health in general.
Thank you. Noveral, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you guys honestly like always mentioned great points. For me, I'd have to say that an important personal skill is to accept constructive criticism, but block out any comments that would not be beneficial to you going forward. And that's because constructive criticism, as much as it may, attack you, or you might feel hurt, and I think they're comments that are meant to help you grow, and they're not meant to, bring you down. They're meant to help you excel. But there are certain comments that people make that, you start to reassess yourself in the STEM workplace with people and like your environment, and you start to wonder if that's right for you. And I don't think it's right. Something that my mom tells me as well is that you're going to get people around you that don't want the best for you going forward. And what's important is to block those out and just keep going, because you know what's best for yourself. And if you've realized that that's not the best option for you, you'll know as you go along your pathway. But don't do what other people tell you to do just because they couldn't, get there. It's your life, it's your journey. So, you're the one that can tell the best.
Thank you so much. All right. So, just as we asked Jada and Kershi, I wanted to know if you amazing ambassadors have some tips for our audience today when it comes to exploring opportunities in STEM at an early age. Let's just go whoever wants to go first, because I didn't realize that you're waiting for me, and I'm like, so whoever wants to go, just go ahead and speak. Not all at once. Okay, let's go, Noveral. Let's start with you.
Okay. I was about to press unmute, though I wasn't sure. Okay, so for me personally, I didn't really have much of a place to go to for exploring STEM at an early age. I guess it was mostly through my love for reading and like nerdy things that I came to like STEM eventually. But for exploring opportunities, I definitely say one of the biggest things that helped me figure out that I really liked STEM and wanted to pursue it was going to hackathons. So one of my earliest memories of going to hackathon was at 15, and that was an all-girls hackathon. I'm sure Donna knows about it. It's called LHacks. That was one of the first hackathons I went to, and we actually won there, and we got to talk about our project, and it was really cool. So, you know, being a 15-year-old and being able to talk about your project in front of like 300 people was that exhilarating feeling. Really made me feel like, wow, I want to, you know, continue doing this, and I want to continue having these experiences. So go online and obviously, of course, also reach out to your teachers, reach out to people who, like your seniors, who may know about opportunities in STEM, because you're not always going to find, you know, they're not always going to be clear right out for you. So you always want to reach out and see what places or what opportunities people know. And if you have LinkedIn, maybe you can look at the programs that you're interested in, and you can contact and reach out to people who have been in those programs, just so I'm sure they'd be like glad to help you and talk to you about it, because of course they want to spread the word about STEM as well, right? So I'd say reaching out to other people is one of the biggest things that would be helpful.
Thank you, Noveral. Okay, and Anka, how about you? What tips do you have?
I would have to say, as a student, I should take opportunities by joining clubs, like maybe in a certain STEM field you might want to go into. Like, take opportunities by also volunteering. We have the internet that you can go onto, like different platforms that you can use, like YouTube, or even investing into your skills, like using Udemy. And then maybe even like if you have a local library, you can go by there and see if there's other opportunities for you to go and explore your interest in STEM.
Thank you, Ananka. I like the volunteering part. You have no idea how many skills you can build doing volunteer work and build your network at the same time. Isabella, what do you think?
Yeah, same thing. I just wanted to repeat what Ananka and Noveral was just saying, is just to find those opportunities, whether in school or outside of school. Connect with your teacher, because they definitely will know what sort of volunteer opportunity. If not, email me. I can also point you towards the right direction. But I've also, when I was a student, I didn't necessarily have, like, we didn't have access to like hackathons. So like for me to like upskill myself, I just like constantly applied for like contests. So I was in like science Olympiad and math contests and all of that. So then I can meet other students who are like me, and then to connect with them and to see what they're doing in the summers. And when my teachers had like guest speakers coming in, I also like made note of their contact information, so then I could reach out to them. And those are actually really important connections to have, because you never know when further along the way where you're like, oh, I remember somebody who came from the zoo and I'm really curious about what that is like working in a zoo, or like, oh, I remember somebody who was coming in from like immunology background. What does that look like as well? So I think those guest speakers that we had in assemblies, all of that, they were very important for me, because I think I wasn't able to sort of see that because I didn't have necessarily the representation in high school, but also the opportunity. So just, grab onto all those opportunities and always connect with people.
Thank you. That's all super great advice. All right. So talking about role models, I want to hear how, did you have any role models before you went to school, like in high school, or in your case, university? Let's learn a little bit more about role models. So who wants to go first? Or
I
should I
can
just?
go first.
Okay, go on. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I just wanted to reiterate, I think it was Kushi that mentioned like her mother being her role model. It's the same thing. I think she's also had to navigate spaces that that's filled with people that don't necessarily look like her. But what I was very proud of to see now that I can really appreciate is that she stood her ground and she just kept, shattering that glass ceiling. And so I really wanted to keep doing that and keep showing other people that they can do the same thing as well. And then I remember when I was like sort of thinking about going into science, but then wasn't sure because I didn't know whether it was possible until I read about Marie Curie and her work in chemistry. And I just felt so inspired because I felt like, oh, she actually didn't have to depend on anybody, and she still, won the Nobel Prize, and then her family continue on with her work. And so I felt like both of them were people who that like allowed me to feel like, oh, I have a space and I have the place to be in STEM.
Yeah, thank you, Isabella. Novera, how about you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you are.
Oh, sorry, yeah, my Wi-Fi chip. Okay. For me, I think I found a lot of my role models through movies and fictional works. I think this was mentioned before, but I know some of the really good movies I've watched. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Hidden Figures, but it's an incredible movie about three women who helped get, I think, a certain space probe to in NASA, and they were segregated, and it's very unfair for them. But then as you go through their the experiences they went through, you see that they're incredible women who have made great contributions, who have been overlooked. And so I think a lot of my role models have come through these incredible women I've come across, even reading about women in magazines, maybe people who have made really cool inventions, just reading about people doing really cool things, kind of sparked my interest. Like, yeah, I want to do this cool stuff too, and I want to get hopefully one day noticed for it. I don't know if that'll happen, but that
will happen. We're rooting for you, Novera.
When you see someone, you're like, I want to be that person, and I want girls to look at me and feel the same way that I felt about them. And that's how I motivate myself, at least. And those were my factors of motivation. And my mom too, because she was a science kid too, and she just talked about really being very studious. And so I guess that also kind of motivates me. I have to do well because my mom did well as well. So yeah.
Thank you, Novera. Nanka, how about you and role models? Can you tell us more about that?
I would have to say that my mother is my role model. From her being able to raise her children and go to work and even earn her PhD in environmental sciences, she definitely inspires me every day. And she also just gives me and my siblings the opportunity to do more. So I use that. I take advantage of that and just do things like this, like being an ambassador for VOLUTION. So yeah.
As a mother, I have to say I'm so inspired and to hear all this. So hopefully I'll be my children's role model one day. Hopefully. I think all mothers hope for this. All right. So let's talk a bit about your role as an ambassador. How do you connect with the community? Oh, anybody can answer this.
Start. I think social media has been a very fantastic vehicle to connect with the community, because it's no longer geographically based. So I have connected with a lot of people on Twitter and Instagram, and that's where people could just sort of share ideas as well. And so that's amazing to see. And then the LinkedIn profile is basically where I could just sort of keep track of organizations that I admire, and to see if there are any upcoming opportunities that I can also volunteer for as well. So that's basically how I connect with the community.
Yeah, thank you, Isabella. Novera.
I'd have to say the same. Social media is great for connecting with the community and engaging through posts and like keeping track of things you like and events you might want to attend. You can find a lot of events and clubs through social media. So I think that's also been a nice way. Also reaching out to accounts and just having nice conversations about like what they've been doing actively. So that gives you ideas about what you could do to get involved with the community is a good way.
Thank you. Ananka.
Yeah, I also have to go off with Isabella and Novera. Definitely social media has been so helpful with connecting with others and even sharing information on there as well. So
Yeah, thank you, all of you. Okay, so I have one last question, just like I had for the previous panel. One of my favorite questions, selfish this way, what can I say? So why is the work that Revolution does important to you? And let's go with Novera.
Well, Revolution is trying to encourage more women to go into the STEM fields, and it's so important for women to enter these fields because there's so many things that, women are so capable of being in these fields, yet they just don't know the opportunities that are there. And so it's important to lead them in the direction to like explore this. And I know there are many females maybe in the past who have been interested in STEM and couldn't exactly enter these fields because of the barriers that existed. So we're trying to lift the barriers. And I think that's such a great way to get women involved in STEM. And as a STEM person, as myself, as I said, like I would have wanted this when I was much younger going into high school. So I think it's great that girls going in like to or wanting to explore STEM right now can get involved through Revolution. And it's just so important that Revolution, encourages this push.
Thank you. Ananka.
I would definitely have to say that the work that they do is amazing. The opportunities that they're able to give to young girls is definitely why I, of course, joined Revolution. The resources and the connections and even potential mentors that they're able to provide is definitely the work that I love from Revolution, and it's very important to me as well.
Thank you, Ananka. Isabella.
Yeah, and I think the past, like the previous ambassadors have already mentioned it, but I also really wanted to reiterate that in order like that Revolution has created a really safe space for us all to connect and learn from. I think when you don't necessarily feel respected or safe in an environment, then it's really hard for you to then make those like authentic connections. So Revolution has really made it a really welcoming space where you can actually connect and ask any questions, anything that you may have. You can reach out to experts in the field. You're learning not only concrete skills, but also transferable skills that you can apply in any setting. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I'm going to end with saying that it's not just when you say women or girls could mean so much. We are all about creating an inclusive space for anyone that identifies as a girl, as a woman. You can come from as diverse background as you come from, right? So for us, we create that space for everyone, really, for them to feel welcome. And I'm going to end another ending. I'm going to end with saying, if I would have a penny, and pennies don't even exist anymore, but if I would have a penny for as many times as I would hear young women from all programs saying that the school that I go to is a STEM-based school, but I come to Revolution because this place feels like I'm welcome. At school, it's only boys, men, the teachers are male, the students are male, and I'm probably the only girl. I go once or twice, and then I decide not to go anymore because I don't feel safe. And coming to our program, even though we have men as mentors, we have men as speakers, we want to show that although the world is not fair, there are opportunities, and there are people out there, including men, that are, here to support in any way possible. So just again, building that confidence to make sure that you enter the STEM field. So, okay, well, with that, I'm going to say that we ending our panel, and thank you.